What keeps people up at night? Money, relationships, work. We toss and turn until we finally turn on the light and wonder, why do we still feel like we're in the dark? You start saying things like, I have to solve this. I don't really know what to do here. Exactly. You don't know what to do, and you choose to believe it. In fact, you gave yourself permission to do so. But that's okay. The problem you have is not the problem that's keeping you up at night. The problem is the filters, emotions, anxieties, fears, and you keep giving yourself permission to feel you have no control, which is why you end up in the kitchen with Melba toast and jalapeno cheese whiz, which may or may not do you any favors. The reason you keep giving yourself permission to feel you have no control, well, that's the topic of another conversation. Ultimately, what you really need are ideas to address the problem. So here's the good news. Everybody is creative and capable of generating ideas that work, despite the fact that we do everything possible to deny it. I've heard it before. I'm not that creative. I'm not that good at coming up with ideas. What if you discovered that you were highly capable of generating ideas that work? There are various idea triggers that help focus the creative lens of the mind, but they're useless unless we understand one very important distinction. We don't come up with ideas. They don't float into our minds out of nowhere, like Stephen King might tell you. We find them in here by connecting the dots on the things that we already know and the things that we continue to think about. Our mind is a complex repository of all life experiences and the thousands of problems we have solved. We can, if we choose, to give ourselves permission to wander unencumbered in this phenomenal library. Permission is a choice we make. Permission is a tool. Permission creates a condition. Permission is an agreement. When we give the creative side of our mind permission to operate creatively, and agree to ignore the encumbering filters, because they're never really ever going to go away, then our mind, the conscious and the unconscious part, will search the memory database, collecting and connecting bits and pieces of the things that we need that are relevant to the problem. From there, ideas are born. But you have to direct your mind specifically to do so. Your mind will respond to idea triggers, like cause and effect, implications, and associations. You use them to guide your mind, both the conscious and unconscious, to focus on something more tangible. Truth is, you're always directing yourself, even when you tell yourself that you don't know what to do. You remind yourself, which means you keep giving yourself permission to create the condition. And that's highly creative of you, by the way. But it is a barrier to ideas. Earl Nightingale was right, you know. You become what you think about. Which means you always have a choice. You can either stay up all night, or you can have a good night's sleep while your mind quietly keeps working on the problem. Nighty-night.